Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Echoes of Mana video, and today is April the 26th, which means tomorrow is April the 27th, and that is some really high quality analysis right there. More importantly, what that means is Echoes of Mana drops tomorrow on the 27th. Now, we don't know exactly how many hours from now that'll be, because I don't know what time zone the servers are set in, but I'm really hoping it drops somewhere close to midnight in the US, so I can get my hands on it tomorrow night and get straight into the game. Importantly, I've come to a big decision. I've decided what characters I'm going to target with my opening polls. And as somebody who really hates to do rerolls in my mobile games, I've picked 2 to 5 characters that I would be very happy with as my opening rare character in the game. In the preview video, in the community live stream, they showed a re-rolling ability where you could just kind of log into the game the first time and keep doing your initial roll until you got something that you wanted. I'm hoping that is implemented in the live version of the game. Otherwise, I will come out with a re-roll guide ASAP. As soon as this game launches, I'll get in there, start figuring out the best way to get what you want, and get a guide on that if it's necessary. Might not be, hope it's not. I hate re-rolling, but if I do have to re-roll, let me talk to you about who I'm going to reroll for. Now, interestingly in this game, we don't really have a tier list yet. We don't really have anything saying, hey, here's your best characters, here's your worst characters, and that could be for multiple reasons. There's not PvP in the game at launch, I don't think. It's more of a co-op story game, which means probably all the characters are going to be usable. So with that in mind, I went to the website, which is what you see on the screen here, and decided to target a few units. Now here's the main characters. You can pick the boy or the girl. I've already said I'm going to be playing as the male protagonist because I like to have a male protagonist in my game. Just makes me connect with the game a little bit more, especially in an RPG. Personal choice, pick the male or the female, it's all on you. The more important thing for this video is this other characters button right here. I'm going to give that a click and we're going to load in. Notice the 2 categories. I'll scroll down a bit and close the Google Translator. We have the Echoes of Mana category and the Other Series category. Within the Echoes of Mana category, these are going to be characters that are specific to this mobile game, and I'm not going to go through them all. I'm not going to waste your time. You can come to the website. I'm on the official site. You can come here and do that yourself. I'm going to tell you the ones that intrigue me, and I'm going to tell you why I'm disappointed about those ones. So, first of all, we've got Roxa. Now, obviously super cool looking, right? Bruiser type unit maybe, anyway, a pugilist type unit who's like a demon waifu with a scorpion tail. Yeah, I'm in for this character design. But it describes her as a villain in the game, and since she's a villain from the Echoes of Mana IP and not a previous IP, I kind of doubt she's playable right away. If she is, you better believe I will stop rerolling if she is a high rarity unit that I pull. Other characters on this that I thought were interesting. I did like the design of the fairy here, Mussolini. But I know in Trials of Mana, for example, there's fairies in that game, but they possess you, and this is not a spoiler to that game, it happens straight away. MC gets possessed by a fairy who kind of accompanies you. You don't really get to play as them, so I don't think the fairy's going to be a playable character, but that would be kind of neat if it was, and I like the design a lot here. And then I also really liked the design of the Mana Goddess. Now, I'm almost 100% sure we're not going to be able to play as her. That's not insider info or anything. She's just, the alter ego of the Mana Tree, which is the thing we are pulling units from. If she's in the game, she better be the most BA character around. And look, I love how the dress has the universe or the sky or something is the inside lining of the dress. Dang good design, really impressive right there. So, from the main, from this game, and then you have the Mana bad guy, right? Ebon Knight should remind you of bad guys from previous Mana titles. Does look really cool, one of the coolest looking characters, but again, is probably the main bad guy in the game, probably not playable right away. So let's focus on the Other Series tab. We're going to switch here, and this is where you can scroll through the older Mana games. I don't believe we are getting an out of the Mana series collaboration straight away. It looks like they're focusing all their collaborations at launch on previous Mana titles. That is an operating thought for me as I was picking who I wanted to reroll for. Now, Adventures of Mana, not a game I played. I do think the character design is pretty cool, and I know a lot of people are very interested in pulling for Dark Lord, so I'm probably going to pass on Dark Lord because I don't want to play something that everybody else is playing. Or not everybody else, but I think a lot of people will go for Dark Lord because Adventures of Mana was a very popular game. Even the remakes were real popular, and he was one of the coolest looking characters on here, so there'll be plenty of people playing as him. You can go a little bit further over and you get to the Secret of Mana characters. Not interested in pulling for anybody from this. I do think the design for Thanatos is cool. My favorite two types of characters in games, mages and spear waifus. Like, my War of the Visions community is called the Church of Eileen, and we built that church from the ground up, and it took work. So those are my favorite two types of people, and that'll make a whole lot of sense here in a minute. So I think the design of Thanatos is cool, but not a Secret of Mana player, so I don't have that like emotional connection. I'll probably pass on all of them. Now, Trials of Mana is a fantastic game, and these models are from the like latest remake of the game, which if you haven't played it is a very smooth experience. All right, now Duran, he's the guy I picked as the main C in my playthrough of Trials of Mana. But like I said, I just like to have a male protagonist in my stories. I didn't pick Duran because I liked him the most. My favorite two characters in that game are Mage Waifu Angela, who, yup, if I pull her, boom, she's my #1 character straight from the start, and my rerolls are over. Like, super, like, Hot Mage Girl. Hot Mage Girl. What game that releases is Hot Mage Girl not a top reroll priority? I don't know. Angela's top reroll priority for me. And then Reese. Like, my favorite color is green, and I like spear waifus, and she's super freaking cool. So I'm a big Reese fan. If I snag Reese early, I'm set, I'm running forward. If I could get both of them, that would be the ideal rolling situation for me. So, Reese and Angela are my two main reroll targets, and a lot of that's because this is the mana game that I played the most recently, so it is the one I have the closest emotional attachment to. Now, I do want to shout out, though, let's go over a little bit more. Here we go. Legend of Mana. This is the first mana game I ever played, and it's a game, I'll tell you a little story. This is just a fun hype video, right? So here's a little aside, if you care. When I was a kid, we live in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and if you're a fan of my channel, you know I live in the freaking sticks, right? We used to go to the city, and there was a mall in the city, and I could go with my parents to this mall and trade in video games at GameStop, where they were just raking me over the coals, but I was a kid and didn't know, so I'd give them a $50 game, and they'd give me $7.11 of credit, and I'd spend my allowance or whatever on a new game. Legend of Mana was one of the games I got, where by the time we got home from the city, I had read the entire booklet inside the game. I bought the official strategy guide. I'd read through the whole damn thing. This game just was so good. And I know it's not considered by a lot of people anyway, at least like a mainline game in the series, but I just really like the way this game played. And this reimagining of the main characters right here with Shiloh and Seraphina, I really do like this. So there's an emotional connection to me here as well. If I could get a Seraphina, I'd be good with that. I'd be good, and I'd probably go ahead and like let my account go forward from there. Otherwise, that's really it, because there's not a ton more on here. So let me end the, we'll just go back to the big screen here. I'll end with my, whoop, that's War of the Visions. Hey, here's Echoes of Mana. Here's my main screen. And that's it, guys. That's how I'm deciding. If I was to offer you any advice, I would say that this is not a video of advice, except to just like follow your heart. I imagine this is a game where most of the characters are going to be usable. There will be some that are stronger than others, but if you have a playstyle that you like, if you like to play mages or you like to get up there and punch people, maybe aim for those type of characters as your reroll target. And I really do hope that rerolling is not a super tedious process. I really like it when developers just kind of nod to the community and like, hey, we know you're going to do it, so we just went ahead and made it sort of easy for you. Here you go. I always appreciate that. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope your rolls in Echoes tomorrow go super smooth, and I hope my rolls go super smooth as well. I'll of course have videos of my first pull sessions, and if, like I said, if rerolling is necessary, I will get a reroll guide out, boom, ASAP. So thanks for watching, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace. See you in game.